Hi, my name is Nyabuto. I'm a musician. I play the woodwind instruments. So there's clarinet, saxophone, bassoon. Those are my main instruments. In orchestra, I play bassoon. Mostly I teach saxophone and clarinet, but we're trying to bring up more bassoonists in Nairobi, in Kenya, in East Africa. That's the goal. Yes, that's who I am.
Okay, so can you take us back to your time at Nairobi School? What were your first experiences with music here?
It was very interesting. When I came in, and when you come in the first time, you go to the senior teacher's office, one of those people, and then they give you options for electives, for subjects that you want to choose. So they said, what was it? No, they presented music and something else, but it's as if like they're trying to say, no, you have to do music. But for me, it was no choice. I already loved music, so I wanted to do music. So I felt it was like what do you call it? God's work. Yeah, I wanted to do music, and they came here and they were offering music, and I was very lucky. I feel very honored to have gone through Nairobi School, through this program, because it's a very good program. The first 2 years, we didn't have a band, we didn't have instruments, and then in an unfortunate series of events that ended up being very fortunate, we got a whole band, and that's when I started learning instruments. So like in Form 3, somewhere there. Yeah, and then since then I've been playing my instruments. Yeah.
Okay, so how did you first get involved with Harmony Kenya Foundation?
Harmony Kenya, so after I finished high school, I used to come back to teach. I used to come back and just the little I knew, just come back and take up with the saxophone students and the clarinet students. At that time, I don't know if it was Harmony Kenya, but it was just an alumni program of sorts. So I think that's how I started. I started just coming to teach, and then eventually it became Harmony Kenya. And now is when I'm now coming back as a member of Harmony Kenya. But I used to work with them as a tutor just for Nairobi School before Harmony Kenya expanded to these other public schools around. Yes.
What impact did Harmony Kenya Foundation have on your musical journey while you were a student?
I started learning bassoon through Harmony Kenya, so that's something. When I joined the National Youth Orchestra of Kenya, I used to play the tenor saxophone, and I used to play the parts for bassoon on the tenor sax. So eventually, when they got a donation of a bassoon, I got it. I fought for it, and eventually I got it, and that's how I started learning bassoon. So I started learning bassoon. I started learning bassoon through Harmony Kenya. So it's really been helpful in that aspect. The director of Harmony Kenya has been really supportive. He's one of the most supportive people I've had in my musical journey. He encouraged me to do the ABRSM exams. He was the one I consulted when I wanted to do my music degree. He got me my first job. He's been God sent again. Just an endless source of resources for me. And just through Harmony Kenya and the work we do, I've been very fortunate to be part of those programs and also to be a beneficiary of those programs as well. So yeah, that's how I've benefited from Harmony Kenya.
Nice. Were there any mentors, teachers, or moments that shaped your passion for music?
Just in general? Yeah. When I was here, my teacher was called Mr. Obaga, who was the director of music here. Towards the end of my time in Nairobi School, that's when Mr. Tatu started coming to give back to Nairobi School. So as I said earlier, he really mentored me. There was Mr. Levi Wataka, who was here as well earlier, who at that time was the assistant director of the National Youth Orchestra. Now he's the director of the National Youth Orchestra. He was really helpful as well. So he pretty much, the way Mr. Tatu and Mr. Obaga were taking care of me while I was in high school, Mr. Wataka was the one who was taking care of me after high school. So through my journey with the Conservatory of Music, just generally in orchestra, starting to perform, going through Kenyatta University music. There's a time I wanted to quit. I remember in third year, I was just like, I just wanted to quit. And then in the evening, I met up at Nairobi Orchestra. I met up with Mr. Wataka, who really encouraged me to just finish that program. So I'm really thankful to him as well. with these things, it's always a community effort. It's never about you. It's always a community effort. So there's a lot of people who I'm very thankful for. Yeah.
After Nairobi School, how did you navigate your path to becoming a professional musician?
I was very excited to go into music after Nairobi School. So I remember the day after, like literally finished KCSE on, let's say, Wednesday. On Friday, I was already at a gig, like going to watch some pianist from France or something. Weeks later, I had auditioned to join the Kenya Boys Choir of Kenya. Later on, I joined Sauti Academy. So I was always trying to look for opportunities to play music, to make music, to learn music. And I think that's it. I was just looking around to see any kind of music. And I wasn't just set on classical music. I was trying jazz. I was going to watch people like Eddie Gray and Kato Change guitarists. I was just everywhere looking for music. That's what I've been doing all along. Have I answered that question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What challenges did you face in the early stages of your career?
In the early stages of my career, what challenges did I face in the early stages of my career? What challenges did I face in the early stages of my career? You know, in the early stages of your career, you're just hungry. You're very hungry. So like, for something to be a challenge, it's like life or death. But otherwise, you can even walk to a performance and you don't care. Like you're just hungry to get all opportunities. So I didn't feel like I was struggling. I felt like I was just learning. Yeah. I don't know. I love to think about that a bit more.
How did the lessons and experience from HKF, Harmony Foundation, and Nairobi School help you in your professional life?
They helped me be a professional. I think that's the main thing. There's various ways to approach music. You can approach music as a hobby, you can approach music as work, you can approach music as part-time work. There's various ways to think about music and relate to music. So I feel Harmony Kenya was very instrumental in making me think about it very professionally. Like if a rehearsal is starting at 9 a.m., you have to be there at 9 a.m. and you come there well rehearsed, you come there ready to play, you come there just professional and ready. And I feel that's the biggest difference, because I notice many other musicians I've been playing with might not necessarily have that skill, and it's very important. Yeah. So and then the skill as well, the skill for understanding music theory as well as just general musicianship. A lot of people don't have that skill for music theory, so they can't necessarily hear or tell harmonies and just the nuances and the subtleties of what music can be. Yeah, and I think that's why that's what Harmony Kenya has really helped me with.
What has been your memorable performance or milestone so far?
I feel like I've had so many milestones, so many performances, there's been so many over the years. Over the last 2 years, I've been very fortunate to get in 2025. In 2024, I won like some pretty good. I won my first international award, best song at Filmapalooza Festival. I'm very proud of that. In 2020, again last year, my students won best ensemble at the Young Musicians Competition in East Africa. So I'm also very proud of that as well. There have been many things over time. There have been many things. So it's always my life is full of wins. Let me say it that way.
Nice. Today you're back at Nairobi School working with saxophone players. How does it feel to be on the other side mentoring young musicians?
It feels beautiful. It feels very beautiful to be back. I was a bit skeptical. I was a bit worried when it started, but it feels very nice to be back here and to see people starting this journey that I started more than a decade ago. And now that I know so much, and now that I can see, I can hear someone playing something, and I can already tell what they need to work on, what they need to fix, the easiest way to do it. So I feel very honored. I feel very humbled to be in this position where I can give back and I can pour out this gift that God gave me as well. So it feels very nice. It feels very nice to be here.
What advice do you have for the students currently learning music through Harmony Kenya?
Keep playing music in whatever capacity. If you want to go through it professionally like me, keep playing. If you want to play it on the side, keep playing. If you want to just 10 minutes every night before you sleep for the rest of your life, keep playing music. Just play music because music is beautiful, not for any other reason. Just play music. Keep playing. That's what I'll say. Yeah.
You're also an artist working with Soundcraft. Can you tell us about your work there and how music education has influenced your career?
Okay. So lately, in the last couple of years, I've been trying to explore the performance and the performance side of business. And then again, through Harmony Kenya, I met currently I'd call him the hottest producer in Nairobi. So he's currently has understood the sound of... He's gotten very well at understanding the sound of a particular audience. And I'm very fascinated by that. And I didn't know he was also in Nairobi School. And when I learned that, and he also went through Harmony Kenya, it made a lot of sense. Because to get at that level of understanding music, you need to have a lot of theoretical background. You need to understand music more deeply than just beats and rhymes and chords. You need to understand like the harmonies and the mixing and the frequencies and all that technical stuff. Yes, so I met Soundcraft and I've been very excited to work with him. He's a brilliant producer. He's a brilliant musician as well. And I'm very excited. We're just at the beginning stages of our relationship, so I'm very excited for what the future holds. Maybe if we do this interview again in 10 years, we'll be talking a whole different story, but yes.
Looking back at your journey, what role do you think music education plays in shaping young musicians?
Music is a communal affair. Music is a communal activity. Music is the way people go to church to talk about God, or the way people go for family get-togethers to just commune. That's what music is supposed to do, and that's how I've started to understand the role of music. The role of music is to bring people together. Yeah. And now if you bring people together and then you start making music, it becomes a spiritual thing. And that's how I've understood. For me, that's the role of music. So this work that you're doing even currently now with Harmony Kenya, however, even if half of these students do not pursue music in the future, the fact that they're here making music together and they've known each other and now they've networked, this is a relationship that's going to go so much further in life just because music brought them together. And now I understand that's the role of music, to just bring people together. Yeah.
What would you say to people considering supporting Harmony Kenya Foundation, and why is it important to invest in young musicians?
When you support Harmony Kenya, it's not just about the music. You're not just supporting music education. You're supporting a much bigger thing. You're supporting something that in 50 years is when you start seeing the results. The director of Harmony Kenya, Mr. Atatwa, and other people, in 2009, a couple of maybe 7 people met up and they really thought through and they wrote a document, and then they decided to come up with the National Youth Orchestra of Kenya. And currently, 15 years later, those members of the National Youth Orchestra of Kenya, the people who are the leader of Nairobi Orchestra is a product of that. The leader of Conservatoire is a product of that. A couple of, music directors around Nairobi are a product of that. So they invested in such a small thing, but it has really grown exponentially. And that's the thing with this thing. when you invest in Harmony Kenya, you're just not investing in someone playing the flute. You're investing in someone who'll play the flute now, and then in 10 years, they'll also invest in other 10 people who will now start playing the tuba and the bassoon and the violin. You're investing in something that will grow much more than you'll even ever imagine. So it's there's no question about it. It's such a worthy pursuit. So yes, please invest in Harmony Kenya. Yes.
What's next for you in your musical journey, and any exciting projects ahead?
Yes. Now that I'm exploring this performance and record, what do you call it? Record label, record business, the music business, the record business, and the performance side. Because I've been mostly very classical, orchestra and teaching and ensemble music. So now I'm putting out more projects with that. I'm collaborating now with more producers. Just exploring that. I'm very excited about that side. It looks very promising. It looks very exciting. So that's, there's a lot to do. There's still, me, I'm a musician for life. So it's a very long journey ahead. It's very exciting for me, and it's just going to be beautiful. That's what I can say for now. My name is Peter Nyabuto. My handle is either Peter Nyabuto or Nyabuto Radio. Peter Nyabuto is the classical side of me, the one who plays bassoon at Nairobi Orchestra. Nyabuto Radio is the superstar side of me, the one who performs at Coachella Festival.